If you're on the fence about getting a set of winter tires and wondering if they make sense financially, then let's grab our calculators and do the math in this video as we talk tires. So what makes more sense financially? Buying a single set of all-season or all-weather tires and driving on them year-round? Or buying two sets of tires, maybe a set of dedicated summer tires or all-season tires, and a set of winter tires for the colder months? Well, at first the answer seems simple. One set of tires will cost you less than two sets of tires. But dig a little bit deeper, and maybe the math isn't that simple after all. Maybe there's just a little bit more to it. Let's assume, for example, that a set of 4 winter tires, or a set of 4 tires in general, cost you $1,000. Now, the actual dollar figure will be different based on where you live, what brand of tire you buy, what size of tire you need for your vehicle. So please do the math with your own numbers for the most accurate results. My goal here is to offer all the variables that you may not have considered and to simplify the math so we don't get lost in all the details. So to keep things simple, for today's math question, let's assume that a set of tires, whether they're all-season tires, whether they're all-weather tires, whether they're summer tires, or whether they're winter tires, each set costs $1,000. Now, if you buy only one set that you drive on all year round, let's say a set of all-season tires, then the initial investment in tires will be $1,000, plus taxes and installation, whatever that may be in your area. Buying two sets of tires, on the other hand, a summer set and a winter set, means an initial investment of $2,000 plus taxes and installation. So again, it seems like a no-brainer. At first glance, the $1,000 investment in tires seems like the better option. It's cheaper than the $2,000 investment. But then we need to consider how long each set of tires will last. Depending on your daily driving habits and on the quality of the tires, let's say that a set of tires lasts you 3 years. Now that figure may be higher or lower for you depending on the distances you drive on daily, but let's use 3 years as a standard for this particular math question. So if you spent $1,000 on a set of tires that you will drive on all year round, that means you'll have to buy another set of tires when? In 3 years. It also means that you're using up $333 worth of tires a year. That's $1,000, the $1,000 cost spread over those 3 years. Now let's look at the other scenario. We buy two sets of tires, a summer set and a winter set, which means we're spending $1,000 and $1,000 here, so $2,000. We're going to assume that these tires will wear out in 3 years as well, just to simplify the math. However, if we buy two sets of tires, we won't need to buy more tires in 3 years because we're not driving on those tires year round. Instead, we're using one set for 6 months out of the year and we're using the other set for 6 months out of the year. Again, that may be a little bit different based on where you live, how much you drive, how you drive and so on, but we need to average things out for this math problem. So we're going to assume that it's 6 months on one set of tires, 6 months on the other set of tires. So if we're using each set only 6 months out of each year, and if we assume that each set will last a total of 3 years on the car, not calendar years, then these two sets of tires should last for how long? They should last for a total of 6 years, 6 calendar years. And if we purchased our two sets for $2,000 and got 6 years of use out of them, then we've used up $333 worth of tires a year. That's the $2,000 investment spread over the 6 years. So in other words, buying two sets of tires for $2,000 and replacing them after 6 years is the same as buying a single set for $1,000 and replacing them in only 3 years. So if you look at the math, it doesn't cost you more to have a set of summer tires and a set of winter tires, except the added cost of the tire swap twice a year in the spring and the fall, whatever that amounts to in your area. Now let's say that the cost is $100 per swap, which means a total of $200 a year. The question then becomes, is that extra $200 worth anything? What does that $200 buy you? Well, I would argue that you're buying the peace of mind that comes from knowing that you and your family are safer on the roads in the winter with a dedicated winter tire set. Now, whether that's worth $200 a year to you is something that only you can decide for yourself. I would also argue that you'd have to factor in the cost of car insurance to make this math equation as accurate as possible. You see, some insurance companies will give you a break if you install winter tires on your vehicle. So why not contact your broker to see how much you'd save on your car insurance with the winter tire discount? I can tell you right now, even before you call your broker, that your discount will not cover the cost of a set of winter tires, because the total savings per year is between 2 to 5% of your total annual premium, which is not a huge amount. But it's still part of the math equation, and depending on how much you pay for insurance, it might actually cover the cost of the spring or fall tire swap. You know, that $100 that you're paying per swap to have the tires installed twice a year. But even if your insurance company doesn't offer a winter tire discount, consider how much it would cost you if you were to get into an accident in the winter. Even if you're a careful driver, sometimes it's not your fault. The roads can be so slick that you applied the brakes and it takes you longer to stop than you anticipated because the snow and ice is just too slick. And you know what? Sometimes the difference between a collision that results in expensive damage and stopping just short of hitting the car in front of you, that can be a matter of a few feet or sometimes even just a few inches. And whether or not you need that extra foot to stop in slippery conditions is often determined by the type of tires you have on your vehicle. So let's say you're driving with all-season tires and try as you might, you just can't stop in time. You slam on the brakes, but just slide into the vehicle right in front of you. What's that going to cost you? What will that do to your insurance costs? Well, right off the bat, you're going to be paying a deductible. How much is yours? For many of us, it's $1,000, which is what it would have cost you to invest in a set of winter tires that would have prevented the accident in the first place. So would you rather cut a check for $1,000 to your insurance company after an accident? Or would you rather cut a check for $1,000 to your tire retailer and avoid the accident altogether? And the insurance costs won't stop there. If you're found at fault, you'll likely see a rate hike on your car insurance, which means you'll be paying that $1,000 deductible right away. And then you'll be paying, I don't know, hundreds of dollars more a year or thousands of dollars more a year in premiums, whatever they decide, for many years to come. Plus, there's all the headaches that come with a car accident. I mean, who wants to deal with that? Now, if at this point in the video you're convinced that winter tires do make sense financially, but are still wondering, well, where am I going to get $1,000 for a set of winter tires? Keep in mind that a growing number of tire retailers are offering financing. That means you can get your winter tires installed now and pay off the cost over a number of months. Just Google tire financing in your area to see which retailers will allow you to pay off your purchase over time. And if you know of someone, maybe a family member or friend who still stubbornly clings to the myth that, well, winter tires are an unnecessary expense, please share this video with them. Maybe they'll see the light when they do the math with some of the figures that I've plugged in here. Finally, if you've seen the benefits of winter tires in your own life, please leave a comment below. There's nothing as powerful as a near-miss experience shared with other drivers to convince the winter tire naysayers out there that they're making a big mistake. As always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video when we talk tires.